a question mark, and it's telling me that I need to enter the days and the month. So the days I put, let's say for instance, today is on the 18th of what month? May. So I put 18 space May, and then I put 2020. So I set my clock, and that's right, correct from here. So I want to verify if I have the proper command, or I have the proper clock on my switch. I will have to put show clock. Right, that's a command that I have to use. So when I use show clock, it's telling me that my time right now is 10:5:14 UTC Monday May 18 2020. So my switch is configured with the right clocking. So this is what you do. Next is, how do we change the name of this from switch to something else? So right now we have to move to the global mode, and to go to the global mode we have to type configure terminal. So you have to type in full for now. We'll have to understand those configurations. So when I type configure terminal, I am right now switch in bracket config. So the switch in bracket you just have config, means you are in global mode. So the difference is you have in bracket config, and the privilege mode is that you just only have the hashtag, and the user exit mode is just you have the greater than sign. So at this mode I want to change the name of my switch, so I will just type host name. So remember, your name convention is that, or naming convention is that your name cannot contain space. So like for instance, I want to type here Cisco Lab. Now this is not acceptable. Invalid input detected. Right here, this is not acceptable. If I want to name my lab, my switch as Cisco Lab, I'll not put any space between these two, or I have to put a dash between these two here. Here I have to put a dash so that I connect this word and this word together. Only that way my switch is going to accept that command. So now for instance, I don't want to type again host name Cisco Lab. I can just press my up arrow key. My up arrow key would bring back this same command that I've just entered previously. So I can use my left arrow to bring my cursor. If you use your mouse and click here, if you type anything, it goes right at the last end here. So you don't have to do that. You cannot use your mouse whilst you're using your packet trace, or you're using your configurations. Even real life, you cannot use your mouse. All you can use is the arrow key. So I want my cursor to come here, so I have to press the left arrow key multiple times so that I can now press the backspace and put that dash command. And right here also, I cannot use my mouse to click here. It's not going to work. So I have to use my right arrow key, so I bring my cursor right at the end of my my statement right here. So right here you have to understand we have two statement or two things that we need to know about configuring. That is the keyword and the argument. So that is a keyword. It's a Cisco device command that is configured, that is programmed, and that is my own statement. So that is my keyword, host name, and the Cisco here is my argument. So I just have to press enter key now. Alright guys, so you can see my name of the switch has changed from switch to Cisco Lab. So in bracket I have config that. Now the next thing is I need to configure so that anytime that a hacker or anybody want to access my switch, the switch will ask you to provide a password to be able to arrive at this privilege mode. So you could see that when I was at user mode right here, where is it? When I was at user mode right here, I typed enable. So when I typed this enable, it brought me right here at this mode. So I want to avoid this. I want anytime that somebody type this enable here, before it brings you to this mode, before it prompts you to the privilege mode, the switch should ask you a password. So that is what I have to bring right here. So I have to type enable password. Sorry about that. Enable password. Okay, so I'll have to explain something here. I'm going to be using Cisco and class as my password. Enable password Cisco and enable. Alright, I can also use enable secret. So I have to explain these two. Enable secret Cisco. Alright, so you guys will have to see something here. I'll have to explain this to you guys. We have enable password Cisco and we have enable secret syscall. Now all of these two does the same thing. They all protect access to this privileged mode. The difference is that the enable password would see your switch passwords in plain text, like this syscall right now. If I want to verify this, I can just exit right from here. At this mode, you can exit, because at this mode, if I want to use the show command, it will not allow me because I am in a wrong mode. So right now, if I use show running config, I just press the tab key, show running dash config. All right, see, it's telling me that I have an invalid command, but this command is correct. Okay, this command is correct, but the reason why it's telling me invalid is because I'm not putting it in the right mode. So if I want my switch to accept this command at this mode, I'll press the up arrow key, so the command comes back. I press Control A. Right, my cursor is right configured. My cursor now jump right from here to the beginning. I press Control A and type do. So this do allows me to be able to type a command at the wrong mode. Okay, and then it will accept it. Right, so it's telling me that my config, I put multiple ends here. That's why also that one is not working, so I will have to remove one of the ends right here, and I am good. What else? Configure. Instead of configure, it's supposed to be config. So you can see a lot of times that you'll be facing these kind of things: invalid command. So it should be show running config instead of configure. So that's it. All right, so I have my enable secret. You can see my enable secret is here, right here. I type the same command. Okay, enable password, you can see syscall. Enable secret, I type the same syscall, but you can see it is encrypted. The password has changed from plain text to ciphertext. Now I cannot look at this and think that, okay, this that is here right now is just this simple syscall. So that's why enable password is not a good option to go with. Enable password sees your password in plain text, and enable secret sees your password in ciphertext, but they all do one thing, that is to protect your privileged mode access. Okay guys, so that is one I have to show you guys. So I remain in this mode again. I am right here at the privileged mode, at the global configuration mode. Now I want to configure so that right now I just connect to my console and my switch does not ask any password. So I just connect console and I'm able to configure. I want to avoid that. I don't want anybody that comes in and then just configure my switch using my console. So I want to protect my console keyboard. I want to protect my console port, so that anytime that anyone wants to access my console, you connect a console cable to my switch and connect to your PC's power port. It should ask you password before you can have access to the console port. So doing that, I have to type line console 0 means I can, because I have only one port, so I have to use 0. So right here I have to enter a password that anytime that anybody want to access my console port, you need to provide that particular password. So I have to type password. Let's say I want my password to be class. You have to remember these passwords, because if you get it wrong, you will not be able to log into your switch. So you have password class, and then right now you have to enter the command login, otherwise your switch will not be able to take care of this command. So it will be like you just place the command, but you don't tell the switch what to do with it. So you are telling the switch that anytime upon login. So that's why you have to enter this command login. So guys, you can see that in this bracket I have config-line. So this is telling you that I am in line mode. So this line here in the bracket shows me that I am in line mode. So right here I only have config in bracket. That means I am in global mode. Config-line tells me that I am in line mode. So here I'm global, and right here I am in line mode because I type line console 0. So now I have to go back to the global mode. I will type here exit. Right back. So I am at exit. I am back to the global mode, that same mode. Now I also want, anytime that somebody want to remote access my switch, they need to provide a password. So that should be my line virtual teletype. But line VTY 0 space 2. Let's say for instance I want to take 0 space 2. Why? Because I want 3 logins simultaneously. 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. I have 3 logins. If I put 3 here, I have four logins. Like for instance, if I put here 3, I have 4 logins. Okay, so you guys will have to, so you enter this. So my password for this one also, I want to make it class, no problem. And then I type login. So that is it. So my line console and my line VTY, I provide the same passwords for them, and they're all going to be class. So guys, I will exit from here. I go one step backward. I am still in global mode. Okay, now I want us to see what configurations we have made. So I will go back again to privilege mode. So I will just go exit. So at this mode, it's telling you that syslog blah blah blah. So this mode, you have to press enter at this moment, because you are not seeing anything. So you have to press the enter key so you can see something. Right. So right here I am there. So I'm going to just use show running config. So I type show running config right here, and then I press the tab key to complete this spelling for me. I put show, I put RU, and press the tab key. After the RU, when I press the tab key, it completes these spellings for me. So you can use the tab key to complete spellings for you. So right here, my configurations are here. Now look at this. This is what I want you guys to see. My line console password is class, which is plain text. This is dangerous. You can see my line V2I password also is seen as class, which is also very dangerous. So what do I do so that whenever somebody log into my switch and want to know this password, the person should see these passwords in a form here, like this. Okay, so we want this switch to also encrypt all our passwords. How do we do this? We go back to global mode. So we type configure terminal. Sorry about that. Configure terminal. Okay, let me just press the tab key. So when I have the configure terminal, I am going to type this command: service password encryption. Right? Service password dash encryption. So when I type this command, service password encryption, it does encrypt all my passwords, so that anytime a hacker logins or anytime somebody log in, my passwords that I am seeing here as class and Cisco, so that this class here would all be turned into a ciphertext, so I don't see them like this. This class is dangerous, because if I see this as my class, this class as my password, I can remote login and then log into my this person's or to my switch, and then choose this password and then change it to something else, causing denial of service to the administrator. So guys, this is what I can do to change all my passwords from plain text to ciphertext. Next, what I need to do right now is to configure a banner for my switch, so that anytime that somebody wants to log into my switch, it should tell you, please, you are not allowed to do this, or you are allowed to do that. So banner MOTD, the MOTD stands for message of the day, and then you open using any of the symbols like hashtag and say, please do not log in. I say do not log in this time. So you have to end it with the same hashtag. So this symbol, you open it, you can close it with that same symbol. So this is please do not log in this time. It's telling you that you are not allowed to enter into this switch. So you can use any of your statements, any statement that you think is a warning to hackers or to any intruder. You can just put that statement right here. So at this present moment, what is left here is we need to give our switch a password. So we need to give our switch an IP address so that it can be accessed outside. So doing that, we have to give a switch the interface an IP address, and then that IP address would help for us to remotely access. Otherwise, a switch does not need any IP address, and I explained this one to you guys, that a switch does not have any physical port. All it has is one logical interface. So we have to go into that logical interface right from the global mode and type interface VLAN 1. So that name here, that interface name VLAN 1 is the logical interface name. So we have to type interface VLAN 1 and press the enter key. Now from here we type IP address. IP address, what IP address do we want to give our switch? It should be, let's say 10.10.10.1, and we give it a subnet mask 255.255.0. So I'm going to use a CIDR 24 subnet mask. So you'll have to understand what this CIDR 24 subnet mask I'm talking about is. So we'll come to that later. So I give an IP address to my switch, and the reason why I give IP address to my switch, so that whenever I am on a remote location, I can access it and do the configurations on it. Otherwise, the switch does not need any IP address. So here I have to put no shutdown. Right, so I put a no shutdown command so that the interface comes up. So whenever you want to wake an interface from sleep, you put no shutdown. So that's it. My interface on the line protocol is up. So the line protocol will come up as soon as I connect an Ethernet cable. Right now there is no cable connectivity between my PC and my switch. I only have a console which does not transmit any IP packets. So what we do is we are in the interface mode. So how do you verify? You can see here config-if in the bracket, that is interface. So you have global mode and you have interface mode. The line mode it shows you is config-line. So you will only know your modes right after the name of the switch. So after the name of the switch, if you only have a hashtag, you are in privilege mode. If you only have a greater than sign, you are in user mode. If you have in bracket config only, you have global config mode. You have in bracket config-line, you are in line mode. In bracket config-if, you are in interface mode. So that is what you have to configure right here. And I think these are the basic configurations that I will have to give you just for today. I have other configurations that are basic, but they will come in our next videos or in our subsequent videos. As we are going, we're going to be adding some other configurations right there. Now that is my packet tracer, and that is my basic configurations that I have on my packet tracer. And we have to go to our PC, so we just have to close right here. So but before we close, we have to save these configurations on our switch. So to save this configuration on our switch, we have to go back straight to the privilege mode. To go straight to privilege mode, you can type here END, and then you press the tab key, you press the enter key, or you can press Ctrl Z. So if you press Ctrl Z, it brings you right from the interface mode down to the privilege mode. So we have to save this configuration. To save this configuration, our configurations are saved in two components, that is the RAM and the ROM. At this moment, whatever we are doing is saved in the RAM because the RAM keeps the data temporarily. So we have to save this configuration from the RAM to the NVRAM, and the configurations on the RAM are called running configurations, and the configurations stored on the NVRAM are called startup configurations. So we're gonna type copy running config running dash config space startup dash config. So that is what we do. So running config dash space running dash config space startup dash config. So you just have, it's a destination file name, just press enter. You don't need to type anything, just press enter. Now you are right here, your configurations are saved. So if you don't want to go through all this, you can just type it short. You can type copy run start. That is the same thing, destination file name, press enter. You don't want to go with that, you can just put WR and press enter. So this WR does the same function as this command and the same function as this command. So with Cisco, you can type your commands in short. Let's say for instance, I want to type configure terminal. Instead of typing configure terminal, I'll just type conf like this, conf t, right there. Instead of typing configure terminal, I just type CONFT instead of configure terminal. So I just have to exit from here. That is just one example. Alright guys, so that is just one example. So I am back to my privilege mode, and then this privilege mode is what I use to save my configurations 1, 2, and to also save my to also look at what configurations that I have on my switch or my Cisco router. So that is exactly what we have to do right now. So my Cisco switch is configured and 7 passwords and all that, and then I'm done. So first I do is go to your PC and give it IP address. On packet tracer, how do I give IP address to my PC is going to IP configuration. So if you don't know, you close all that and then go to your PC right here. So open your PC and then click on IP configuration. IP configuration gives you this dialog. Now IP address to the device is given in two ways: through a DHCP server that will automatically give IP address to your devices, or using static, that is manually entering your IP addresses. So I'm going to use this dialog and then use I click on static and give a static IP address. So that I will use 10.10.10.2 because I use 10.10.10.1 on the switch, so I cannot repeat that IP address here. So my IP address will have to keep changing and changing and changing. So this one is 10.10.10 all the way here. So here we have 1 on the switch, so we have 2 here, the next device 3, next device 4, next device 5. So it goes like that until all of these octet reach 255. So the subnet max right here is going to give me a default class A IP address default subnet max, and I don't want that, so I'm going to have to use this .0. So this is the subnet max. Default gateway right here. That default gateway, I don't need it right now, but if I need it, if I have to access my switch on a remote location, or this device have to access it in a remote location, not physically accessing, when there is a router, I need to put this default gateway router's IP address. So there's no router, I don't need a default gateway at this present moment. So this only the IP address and the subnet max would do. The default gateway will come later after we have the router's involvement. So you just have to close this PC. Alright guys, so this is what you do, and then you can just now take this cable right here. Right now I will ask you guys to use the automatic cable, this cable right here. So just click on this cable, click on the PC and go to this switch and click on it. So this is what you have. Your switch is now connected to your PC. All you need to do right now is remove this cable. So take this and then just delete this cable. So you removed your console. Now your PC is directly connected to your switch. Now we want to know if we can connect remotely, because this is a remote connection, it's not console anymore. So like I explained in the theory aspect, we have 2 ways to access our switches, that is in-band and out-band. The out-band is console connecting directly, and the in-band is remote connection, that is using Ethernet or in a remote location. So this is in a remote location. So this switch is in a room, and this the PC is in one room and the switch in another room. I have Ethernet, fast Ethernet connecting them. I have my PC with an IP address that is 10.10.10.2, and I have my switch with an IP address 10.10.10.1. So I have to ping the switch to know if I can ping it. I need to know if I can reach this switch. So right now I go to my PC. Instead of terminal, instead of IP, now I'm going to command prompt. So right now I'm in the command prompt of my PC. I'll just type ping and ping the destination. That is, the IP address of the switch is 10.10.10.1. Let's see if we can ping that. Okay, that is a VLAN 1 IP address. Alright, so you can see I have a file that is lost, no problem, because it's a switch. We'll know what the switch behavior is later. So I can ping again. Just type the, I just press the up arrow. I have this. So that whenever you have a reply like this, it says reply from that PC or the switch that I'm pinging, and it's telling me that I have a TTL value of 255. Okay, this is telling me that I have a reply that is successful. I have a successful reply and everything is running fine between my PC and my switch. Now I need to know whether my PC now can be able to telnet, whether I can remote log into my switch. Before you do remote login, you have to test the switch. You have to test and see if you can reach this, if you can reach the switch. That is, you have to ping first. So I pinged and then it ponged. Now I have to, I can say ping and pong. So I have to now check if I can telnet. So remote location, I have to put telnet 10.10.10.1. So when I do this, yeah, that's very good. So when I telnet, it is telling me that a telnet session happens, right? Look at this. That is my banner. Please do not log in this time. So my switch is warning me that I am not authorized to allow, or I am not supposed to log in this time, but if I have the password, I can log in. So right now my switch is asking me to provide the password, the telnet, the line VTY password, which is class. So I have to enter that password, right? So guys, I have not been connecting for a long time, so it locks me out, so I have to connect again. Alright, so it asks me to provide a password. So the password I need to enter here is the password that I configured for VTY, that is class. So when you are entering your password, you absolutely see nothing here. So I just entered my password. You do not see any dots or anything. So it's a rare thing. With Cisco device, you don't even see anything that you are typing when you're entering your password. So I just entered it and I press enter. I am right there. So I have Cisco lab. I am into the switch user mode. So I have to go to the privilege mode of my switch. So I type here enable. Now when I type this enable and press enter to go to the privilege mode, look at what my switch is telling me: provide a privilege password. So I type the enable secret and the enable password right there. The password I entered there was Cisco. So I entered that piece Cisco right now. Bam. I am into my switch, so I can do any configuration on my switch from the PC right here. Okay guys, so I can configure from the PC right here whilst I am on a remote location. Okay guys, so this is my packet tracer. So I'm gonna send you guys a file of this basic configuration. So you have to enter those commands step by step on your Cisco device and follow this video and follow this step by step. Now physically or in a real life, how do you change the password of your PC? The IP address of your PC is right here. That is your network icon. Right click on your network icon and click on open network and internet sharing and network internet settings like this. All your settings will come and then you can change the configurations. But if you also don't mind to go here, you can go to control panel and then open network and sharing center, and then you have the same thing. So what you do is you're just gonna have to click on Ethernet. So that's it. When I click on Ethernet, it says change adapter options. So that is it. I click on change adapter options. So my device would give me this. So I have different NICs. I have an Ethernet NIC. I have another NIC. I have for my device right now. I have 4 NICs, network interface cards. So I have a network interface card right here. Another one. So I have 4 VMware network. I have a VMware installed because I do database also, SQL database that I used the virtual network to do that. So I have my Wi-Fi, which is currently not connected. So I have these 4 NICs on my device. So right now, this is my NIC. So let's just say I want to check the password, the IP address. So sometimes if you see this X, that means it's not connected, but you can have an exclamation. So if you have an exclamation, it's 2 things. Either the cable is not good, or there is no internet access from the router, or the switch is connected but it's not connected to the router, or you do not have the proper IP address on the LAN that you are connected. And in most cases, this is what is going to happen. So to correct that, you have to double click on this network icon, or you can right click and go to properties. If you're on properties, this is the dialog you have. So right now I want to change the IP address of my Internet Protocol version 4. So I click on it and click on properties, or I can double click on it. So this is an option to change the IP address of your PC. So when I click on Internet Protocol version 4, I click on properties. If it is version 6, there is another version 6 here, Internet Protocol version 6. So I just want to go with version 4. I click on properties because I'm working with version 4. Right now, the option that is choose for me here is obtain IP address automatically. So if you connect to a network that they're using DHCP and your device configurations are right here, this is what is selected, you will not be able to connect to the internet. So what you will do is, if you're in a DHCP environment, you just click obtain IP address automatically. If you're not in a DHCP environment, you want to enter the IP address yourself, click on use the following IP address, enter the IP addresses, the IP address of the PC, the subnet mask, and the default gateway, and then you click OK. So in this case, I am connected on a network where I have a DHCP configuration. I just have to click on obtain IP address automatically, and then click OK and close here, and then close each and every other thing right here. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and then I'll send you the configurations so you guys can try and do the configuration.